maumwe ende pasina mwali hapana muono Tumbile secrets Manyene chivua Toyenda mberi Manyene chivua Toyenda mberi Tumbile secrets Manyene chivua Toyenda mberi Manyene chivua Toyenda mberi Wari vari parutivi rwedu Kuzwa inyadena Muri yechifu kumanyene Tinotenda rutsikiro rwenyu Bashi family
Enjoy ReValue online with TM Pick and Pay Click and Collect. It's time for the news.
The main news on a Friday. These are the headline stories tonight.
Zimbabwe ready to play its part to ensure African children have access to quality education.
Tobacco worth more than 130 million United States dollars sold since the start of the marketing season.
In sport, Zimbabwe Football Association ready to engage foreign players to represent the country. Welcome indeed to the main news. My name is Batla Nepurem.
I'm Vicky Maponga, and Noble Mawungwa is at the sign language desk. We get straight into our first report tonight. President Emmerson Mnangagwa says Zimbabwe is ready to take a lead in efforts to ensure that the African child has access to quality education hinged on creativity and innovation.
Well, the president was addressing delegates at the Third Africa Education Summit that was held in Victoria Falls today. Our chief correspondent Ruben Barwe was there and gives us our first report.
The Third African Education Summit was officially opened by the President, Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa, in Victoria Falls, with a special appeal to all African educators to close the gaps and disparities that are hindering youths on the continent to advance and develop.
Increased cooperation amongst African states in teacher training is key for catering for the approximately 30 million children who are out of school in sub-Sahara Africa alone. Zimbabwe is ready to share its experiences in this regard. I believe that the current crop of African leaders, me included, have the political will to facilitate equitable access to quality education. In our case as Zimbabwe, increased school infrastructure across the country, especially in new settlements, has ensured that learners do not walk more than 5 kilometers to access educational facilities. This is a policy. It's a policy that we do not want our learners to walk more than 5 kilometers to go to school. If we achieve that, it's a big milestone. This will also reduce school absenteeism due to limited food, and all-encompassing school feeding program is ongoing, covering both rural and urban schools in vulnerable communities.
The head of state said schools and institutions of higher learning must become incubators of innovation, entrepreneurship, and leadership, taking into account indigenous knowledge systems.
We must become a continent that can produce and feed itself, that is better education. Of course, regrettably, limited access to energy hinders prospects for most African learners, especially those in rural communities. Hence, investments in clean energy, along with modern school infrastructure, must now be deemed a dual necessity. This is more urgent given the centrality of energy access for the development of ICTs, e-learning, innovation, and overall digital transformation, and ultimately the industrialization of our motherland, Africa. To this end, further support for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM education, alongside vocational training and digital literacy, enablers must be prioritized in this area.
Comrade Mnangagwa said the digital divide remains a significant barrier to educational access across the African continent.
E-learning platforms, smart classrooms, and artificial intelligence-driven learning tools should no longer be luxuries, but day-to-day teaching and learning necessities in our communities.
The president said Zimbabwe's national development mantra, leaving no one and no place behind, has gained traction, and he challenged the summit to proffer solutions to a myriad of challenges the education systems on the continent are facing.
I call upon increased investment in research and development. Our governments, our private sector, academic institutions, and diaspora and collaborative must collaborate to avail the necessary funding to promote research in agriculture, healthcare, climate change, artificial intelligence. Furthermore, education institutions are challenged to partner with industries to be actively involved in curriculum development so that there is a seamless flow between industry demands and the caliber and skills of graduates upon the exit from the school systems.
President Mnangagwa said Africa is rising and education is one of the strongest pillars. Education makes people proud of their identity. People are able to effectively participate in the marketplace of ideas, and they are also respected globally. The meeting, attended by over 400 delegates, were drawn from 11 countries, and the theme was, and I quote, translating our educational advancement to continental development, a strategic approach, end of quote. This dovetails well with the Heritage-Based Education 5.0 of Zimbabwe. Ruben Barwa, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
Meanwhile, Zimbabwe's strategic establishment of a dedicated ministry for primary and secondary education has been commended by African academics attending the Third Africa Education Summit in Victoria Falls.
Zimbabwe's establishment of a stand-alone Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education has been instrumental in the transformation of the sector, starting from early childhood development. This focused approach has positioned Zimbabwe as a benchmark renowned for its high literacy levels. Delegates participating in the Third Africa Education Summit are convinced that Zimbabwe's education reforms offer a valuable model that should be considered and potentially replicated across the African continent.
The government of Zimbabwe have done it very, very well by designating a minister that is responsible for primary and secondary education in Zimbabwe, because that's the primarily key area where every government or every country that wants to get it right must start from there.
The summit also highlighted the importance of innovation within schools as a particular noteworthy area for the continent to pursue.
In my notes in my bag, which I'm taking back to my country, when I saw that there is a federal ministry for primary and secondary education, I think that's one very, very beautiful takeaway from Zimbabwe.
Yesterday I was sharing with a group that mentioned that the pupils in schools have started taking up projects. They are doing this, they are doing that, which I think is very laudable.
Zimbabwe attributes its success in the education sector to the unwavering dedication of the country's leadership.
Our guest of honor's visionary leadership and unwavering dedication to human capital development has played a pivotal role in advancing education, not only in our nation but across the region. Through his tireless efforts, Zimbabwe has embraced Education 5.0 and heritage-based education.
The three-day Third Africa Education Summit has brought together education leaders, policymakers and other stakeholders from 11 countries to discuss strategies for improving educational outcomes and fostering global partnerships. Meanwhile, Tawanda Mako, who will be attending the Art and Design Fair in Greece, presented a drone portrait as a token of appreciation to President Emmerson Mnangagwa. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
Elsewhere, the government has launched the Midlands Province Investment Compendium, a document which spells out the investment opportunities in the province.
The Investment Compendium is a document which outlines the low-hanging fruits that lie in all the local authorities within the Midlands Province, thereby marketing the province to realize its full potential. The government says investors should take advantage of the business operating environment obtaining in the country and make meaningful investments.
The launch of the Midlands Investment Compendium will be a new portal to provide a clear pipeline of opportunities designed to boost investment, create jobs and investment productivity. From large-scale infrastructure projects, from the solar plant and cotton processing plant to irrigation schemes, will give the growth story of the region's economic potential.
Deputy Chief Secretary to the President and Cabinet, Mr. Willard Manungo, says the investment conference comes at a good time when Zimbabwe is preparing to launch the National Development Strategy 2 at the end of this year.
We appreciate the inclusion and the participation of our investors from the diaspora community. This demonstrates the commitment of government to tap into the invaluable development of partnerships with our diaspora investors in fostering national development.
The Minister of Energy and Power Development, Honorable July Moyo, called for more investment energy projects.
We amended our Electricity Act so that private sector people can participate. The others policies are there to enforce and to buttress what we want to do. So since we are talking about promotion of private sector investment and investment by public partnerships, we think that these enabling acts are there to assist you.
The Midlands Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Owen Nwe, urged investors to take advantage of the friendly investment policies that have been created by the Second Republic.
We urge our local authorities to focus on smart city concept, road rehabilitation, water provision, and swiftly attend to plan approvals, license applications.
The Midlands Investment Conference drew participants from the business fraternity who also took time to network and form business synergies. Tafara Chikumira, ZBC News, Gweru.
Now, the revival of the Nyakomba irrigation scheme in Nyanga has revitalized the community, positioning it as a key player in rural industrialization.
Once a dormant rural community of Nyakomba bordering Mozambique is now flourishing thanks to an irrigation scheme that enables year-round farming. The project, a product of the Japanese International Cooperation Agency's Zimbabwe Smallholder Horticulture Empowerment and Promotion (ZIMSHEP), has been pivotal in infrastructure and skills development for farmers. Through the collaboration, high-end pumping stations have been established to ensure seamless production at Nyakomba irrigation scheme.
Got 568 hectares with 756 beneficiaries. In terms of the project has got 4 blocks, each block with a pump station, a delivery line, a farm pond, which then distribute to the infield canals. So basically this is a pumped surface irrigation scheme with each farmer a plot size between 0.6 and 1 hectare.
The Zimshe project, primarily targeting small-scale farmers, has facilitated cash crop farming and processing, establishing a hub for chili exports.
Notasira kuchengeta mhiripiri yedu mustock for 2 weeks tichitora kuti ifement ikwanise kuwira yodzi painozogadza after 2 weeks tenda kwanisa kuexport inoenda kuAmerica. Mhiripiri yachoni pachezvayo inogara for 3 years isati yashanda.
Ndakaona zviri kundibatsirawo kubhadharawo munda wangu nekuti isusu munda yedu tinoshandisa magetsi, saka ndinokwanisawo zvibhadharirawo magetsi angu, kutengawo zvese zvanenge nchidawo mafertilizer zvemumbawo.
Apa ndotarisira kuti ndinonochiharvesta muna mid-June, July.
The initiative aligns with the government's vision to foster rural industrialization.
Nyakomba is doing very well because all the 3 experts have been here. They've trained the farmers, changing their mindset from grow and sell to grow to sell. In terms of the soft component, JICA also accepts the engineers, irrigation engineers, to go and train in Japan so that when they come back, they can also do the repairing of the irrigation scheme without hiring experts from other countries.
The Zimbabwe Smallholder Horticulture Empowerment Promotion, initiated in 2019 and concluding in June this year, operates in conjunction with the Zimbabwe Horticulture Recovery and Growth Plan. Wellington Makonese, ZBC News, Nyanga.
The introduction of school business units by government has transformed the face of learning institutions, with many now running successful agricultural projects.
In July 2023, President Emmerson Mnangagwa commissioned the Chinorumba High School Business Unit in Zaka Central, comprising a solar-powered bowl, fish ponds, and a 1-hectare horticulture garden. In less than 2 years, the project has seen learners at the institution going beyond textbooks as they are running successful agriculture projects.
Tongotenda president wedu comrade Idi Mnangagwa vakatiisira garden nemafish pond mukati megarden yedu imomo.
Inotibetsera zvikuru panyaya dzekudzidza ma-practical lessons sana agriculture tinotoya tichiita ma-practical ikoko. Then panyaya dzekuvandudza chikoro chedu tiri kutengesa ma-products, tikarima chibage totengesa, madomasi totengesa tichiwana mari.
This Thursday saw the institution harvesting their fish for sale, and the school authorities confirmed that they have managed to expand the learning institution through income generated from agriculture projects, with the community also benefiting.
Tine project ye fish yakatisimudzira nenyaya yekuti fish dzinotengeswa chikoro chowana mari.
There's what we call entrepreneurship that is taking place at school. As these projects are being carried out at school, the learners are learning. We are moving towards competence-based, and we are now having heritage-based curriculum, where we are saying we are moving on the hands-on kind of an issue, where our children are imparted with the relevant skills.
The Deputy Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, Honorable Davis Marapira, says government remains committed to supporting schools and community development.
Vanhu vari kumusha vari kubatsirika zvisingamboiti nokutengesa mirivo, nokutengesa chibage chinyoro, nokutengesa hove kuti nzvimbo idzodzo dziwane kurarama zvakanaka.
School business units are part of the implementation of heritage-based education curriculum, which emphasizes the importance of skills development and innovation. Ms. Martina, ZBC News, Zaka.
Elsewhere, the Second Republic continues to score success stories in various sectors, with its drive for taking justice to the people having been witnessed by the opening of the Mtawatawa Magistrates Court today.
Faced with the growing need to enhance justice delivery, the Judicial Services Commission, which has been operating a court at the Mtawatawa Government Complex, has constructed a fully fledged magistrates court, which also has holding cells and a witness shelter. Secretary of the Judicial Services Commission, Mr. Walter Chkwana, said the court is set to bring justice delivery system to the people.
It has been observed that currently Mtawatawa Magistrates Court Registry receives and processes an average of 60 civil matters and 40 criminal matters per month. In this light, the court's workload pointedly justified the need for a standalone infrastructure and facilities that would ensure expedient and effective delivery of justice for the benefit of the local community.
Stakeholders have welcomed the opening of the court in the area.
Zimbabwe Republic Police Mutawa have murder cases, rape cases, stock theft and domestic violence cases, which are worrisome. And the creation of this court will help the establishment of a well-equipped, victim-friendly court.
To the community of Mutawa, this is your new and improved court. Your role is pivotal. Justice is not a spectator sport. The criminal justice system thrives when you engage with it by reporting crimes, participating in community policing, or attending court sessions to witness the process.
Sekuziva kwenyu guest of honor isu madzimambo panyaya dzedu dzatinotarisa mumatare edu, nyaya dziri pasi pe customary law. Tine dzimwe nyaya dzatisingagone kubata mumatare medu. Saka ne-Magistrate Court yauya kuno tiri kunzwa kufara zvakanyanya.
The opening of the Mutawa Magistrates Court comes at a time the JSC has established a regional court at Mutoko, deployed recent magistrates at Kotwa, Wedza and Beatrice, while a second court has been established at Mausekwa Growth Point. Gerald Sasa, BC News, Mutawa.
Beyond our borders now, as Rwanda prepares to commemorate 31 years since the end of the genocide in 1994, the country says peace is essential in ensuring sustainable development.
2025 marks 31 years since the genocide ended, and the commemorations serve as a continued warning to humanity that the genocide is not forgotten and should never be repeated elsewhere in the world. In a media engagement this Friday, Rwanda's ambassador to Zimbabwe, His Excellency James Musoni, spoke of his country's desire to see peace prevailing as it moves nations forward.
Our appeal is to the international community to play a more significant role in fighting genocide denial, hate speech, discrimination, and intolerance, and all its manifestations. So we encourage the global community to play an active role in ensuring that fugitives that planned and perpetrated the genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda are brought to the book.
The Rwandese envoy also responded to questions relating to the crisis in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo.
The East Africa and the SADC Red process, which combines Rwanda, the Angola, and Nairobi process. These ones, they have agreed to merge them and operate under the mediation of the facilitators who have been named. They all aim at diffusing tension and try to bring warring parties to the table.
The 31st Kibuka commemorations will be held under the theme Remember, Unite, Renew. Olina Ndori, ZBC News, Harare.
Now, Zimbabwe's telecommunication sector has maintained growth in the first 3 months of the year, driven by exchange rate stability, more subscribers, and an increase in data use by industry and commerce.
Data released at the 2025 annual telecommunications conference indicate a resilient sector that sustained operations and viability due to stable costs. It shows that internet or data usage continue to be the main driver of revenues for the sector. Government and telecommunications sector players are happy with the development and continued expansion efforts.
There's consistent and significant growth in the number of people that are utilizing ICTs, whether it's people using the internet or using mobile telephony. Now, one of the things that we do need to do is to increase our digital literacy across the country so that we take everyone with us, so that nobody is actually left behind.
Government has created an environment where these players are brought together from time to time to be able to interface with particularly the Ministry of ICT to share their issues and areas where they need convergence.
As Zimbabwe continues to adopt information communication technologies, the telecommunication sector is poised to emerge as one of the biggest beneficiaries. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
And that report from Stanley James leading us to a break. But remember, there are more stories on our website. You can go there. It's www.zbc.co.zw. On Facebook, we are also there, ZBC News Online. And of course, we always welcome our viewers joining us live on Facebook. That's on your Facebook Live page, which goes live every day at 8 p.m. as we start the main news. We are also on Twitter, that is X, or formerly Twitter. You can find us there, ZBC News Online as well.
A look at stories now still to come.
Well, tobacco worth more than 130 million United States dollars has been sold since the start of the marketing season. We'll hear the stats.
And sport a little later, Zimbabwe Football Association ready to engage foreign players to represent the country. We're taking a breather. Stay with us.
Discover Greylands Park, more than just a housing development, but a vibrant, secure and family-friendly community designed for you. Phase 1 is now sold out and we're now selling stands from Phase 2. Servicing is at an advanced stage. Stands start at 12,500 with the option of paying 2,500 deposit, then the balance over 10 months. For your affordable, secure and convenient stands, contact us today to reserve your stand and get a step closer to building your dream home. For more information, visit www.greylandspark.com. Greylands Park, where your dream home becomes a reality.
You don't need to go far to find the best entertainment.
Exactly.
All you need to do is stay connected to DSTV.
Yes, please.
Whether you're at home or on the move, make it a holiday to remember.
Lewis Hamilton leads on Ferrari debut.
Because these holidays, it's your moment to enjoy the best entertainment.
Great.
Thank you guys for joining us. So get and stay connected to DSTV to enjoy every moment.
Welcome back. You're still watching the main news, and our countdown continues to the 18th of April when Zimbabwe celebrates 45 years of independence. Now, as the country commemorates the 45 years of independence in the next 2 weeks, communities including Zaka villages in Masvingo province have a lot to celebrate, given the developments that have been implemented by government in the education sector. Let's find out more in the next report.
4 years ago, this place in Gumbire area of Zaka South was a thick bush, with many utilizing it as a grazing land, and the community never imagined that it carried educational hopes for many. For veterans of the liberation struggle, the place used to be their meeting point as they were hiding from the Smith soldiers. Today, there is total transformation following the establishment of Gumbire Primary School, thanks to the devolution program. spearheaded by the Second Republic.
Mwana wangu ari grade 2 aifana kuda pari zvinatori kuzvi grade 4 asi nenhau yokuti kuchikoro kwainge kuri kure panguva yepamashure akanonoka kuenda akazoenda kuchikoro atokura zvakatopa vana vazhinji kuti vanonoke kuenda kuchikoro vachienda vakura saka pari zvino vana vava kuenda kuchikoro nenguva.
President vakazotipa mari yedeforation tikachivakirwa chikoro chedu chino mabhuroko 5 panguva imwe chete tikafara tikasununguka vana vedu vari kuenda kuchikoro.
Maticha akauya panapa, maticha mamwe akabva kumatauni chaiko chaiko. Dzimba dzedu dzamuri kuona idzi dziri kugara maticha idzo dzine matoilets mukati.
The state-of-the-art facility, which opened its doors in 2023, has an enrollment of 420 pupils, and it came as a major relief for many pupils and parents.
4 o'clock ndichindosvika na 6 o'clock pachifunde paiva kuri kure kana rwizi rukazara ini ndairovha enda chikoro ndafamba mutunhu murefu kwaityisa kwazvo asi kwezvino ndakupadhuze.
Toda kutenda Second Republic nokuti pano paiva pasango ende tikatarira kuvana vedu vatinawo panapa vana anofunga tinawo vanosvika kuma 25 vaya vatinoti vakaremara vanga vasingatomboendi kuchikoro kuti vaende kuchikoro vava vasingakwanisi asi nekuda kweNNS nechikoro chava munzvimbo mavo vana ivavo mukasvika mumakilasi every class ine vana ivavo.
The deliberate stance by government working together with communities to improve education infrastructure in rural communities is a clear commitment to ensure a better Zimbabwe for all. Hence, traditional leaders are in support of the devolution agenda anchored on a united approach towards a knowledge-driven economy by 2030.
Hurumende yedu yeZimbabwe iri kugona kubataniso, iri kugona kusumudzira uye kuramba tiri pakuzvitonga kuseri. Takatarisana nechirongwa chavakaunza mu Second Republic chedevolution. Hurumende yakatitaridza kuti ichabata ende inobata nesu zvakakosha.
Apart from Gumbire Primary School, 6 more schools and 28 classroom blocks were established by government in 7 districts of Masvingo under the devolution program. Other schools benefited through solar-powered bores, construction of teachers' houses, while others were electrified. These developments also speak to this year's independence theme, Zimbabwe at 45, Devolve and Develop, towards Vision 2030. The celebrations will be held in Gokwe. Mes Matina, ZBC News, Zaka.
Marilyn is on standby from our Montreal studios to give us more news from that end. Marilyn, good evening.
Good evening and many thanks to you, Vicky and Butler. In our following reports, government continues to support the full adoption of heritage-based education curriculum through provision of solar-powered piped water schemes and internet connectivity at schools.
The major thrust of the heritage-based education curriculum is innovation and creativity, which leads to industrialization. It is against this background that the Vice President Kembo Mohadi has overseen the installation of a solar-piped water scheme and internet connection project at Beitbridge Mission School.
These works will result in clean, attractive and friendly environment.
Stakeholders who attended the commissioning of the piped water scheme at Beitbridge Mission Primary this Friday are convinced that initiative will ensure inclusive education and productivity at the institution.
Our minister's vision, which focuses on providing heritage-driven education for a socially and economically empowered society by 2030, aligns perfectly with these objectives.
Asikanji ore muto abhebhiwa petu ava zvine ava zvori awana zvine awana aumbura murawo.
As we hand over this pole today, a vital resource for education and community empowerment, we reaffirm our commitment to community development. This pole provides safe drinking water for the school while supporting the school income generating project.
Matabeleland South Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Dr. Evelyn Ndlovu, represented Vice President Kembo Mohadi at the commissioning of the project.
The borehole will support the sustainability and environmental stewardship of agriculture programs at the institution. Learners will acquire skills on the value of producing their own food and how solar-powered water system works. The project represents more than just infrastructure. It embodies our belief in the potential of every child to thrive through improved hygiene and health. Clean water will enable students to practice proper hygiene, reducing the risk of waterborne diseases in the country. This also contributes to the healthier learning environment where students can focus on their studies without the constant threat of illness.
The partnership also saw the school receiving 5,000 exercise books for use by the learners, while 60 learners and teachers were trained in first aid. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News, Beitbridge.
The modernization of ZBC's Montrose studios in Bulawayo is progressing well under the government's 100-day cycle projects initiative. More from the following report.
The project, which has so foreseen the installation of modern equipment, transmitters and infrastructure at ZBC's Montrose Studios in Bulawayo, is on track to meet targets within the current 100-day cycle, signaling a positive step forward in the country's broadcasting sector. Speaking during a tour of the facility this Friday, the Deputy Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Honorable Ompile Marupi, expressed satisfaction with progress of the refurbishment works.
This is one of the projects that being done under the 100-day cycle. As I'm sure we all can see and we are all aware that for quite some time Montrose was as good as neglected. Now under the Second Republic and able leadership of His Excellency Dr. Idim Mnangagwa said no community and no area, no place, no people should be left behind. And from the look of things and the pace, we are within the 100-day cycle, and we are hopeful that if not disturbed by anything, all shall be well within those 100 days.
The transformation of ZBC Studios is expected to significantly enhance ZBC's capacity to produce high-quality content that reflects the diverse cultures and perspectives of the Zimbabwean people.
Knowing that this area, this region is rich in terms of language and culture. We are actually revamping Montrose, putting in new equipment, new studios that are going to accommodate the indigenous languages under our heritage-based broadcasting. And that is going to see us promoting our languages, promoting our culture through music, dance, and the dramas and other programs that we're going to be getting from this region, that are going to be covering the whole of Zimbabwe, reflecting and showing who we are as a people, as a country, as a nation.
Once completed, Montrose Studios will be the hub of heritage-based content in Zimbabwe, housing 10 radio and 2 television studios. Hilandmoy, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
The myths and misconceptions by parents have been identified as major obstacles to achieving successful tuberculosis treatment outcomes in children.
The story of Sibochiwe Svanda, a 61-year-old two-time TB survivor, highlights the impacts of myths and misconceptions on TB treatment. Sivanda was first diagnosed with TB at the age of 7, and her parents sought assistance from traditionalists, believing that a spell had been cast on their daughter. Sivanda's experience is not unique. Many parents in Zimbabwe hold misconceptions about TB, leading to delayed diagnosis and treatment.
And for sure, TB utenda luba luneng. And ngani lukhipha utenda every day. So kwakuthiwa la ngikhitsha utenda ngichawe izinto. In fact babe sitsho njalo ukuthi ngachawa izinto ngikhitsha utenda.
However, with proper treatment and acceptance, TB can be overcome. Sibanda's second diagnosis with pulmonary TB in 2000 was successfully treated, thanks to her acceptance of the condition and advances in medication.
This 2000 ngagula ngo-2000 lapho engagula khona i-TB futhi S2 yaba yi-pulmonary TB. Ngangikhwehlela kakhulu, ngacikizeka ngaphela umzimba, ngakhwehlela kakhulu ayikona mbijana. Kodwa I think there is life after ungaqeda amaphilisi and uyaphila and amaphilisi ayalapha and amaphilisi ayakuqeda ungahamba ngendlela yangikhona ulandelela umkhuhlane.
Government's introduction of advanced TB medication, reducing the number of tablets patients take from 14 to 3, is seen as a significant step towards reducing stigma around the disease, according to TB survivors.
Sekuncedisile kakhulu kushothena i-medication lana from 14. Umuntu ayinatha 16 amaphilisi but amanye akhona ayimakhulu ukuthi ungakhangela so uyacabanga wedwa ukuthi ngizaliginya yini iphilisi leli.
Director of Rehabilitation and Prevention of Tuberculosis Organization, Mr. Freddy Mutswairo, emphasized the importance of empowering TB survivors to share their stories and educate communities.
Currently, we have a problem of inadequate information about TB, myths and misconceptions about TB. You find that people believe that TB is isidliso or umkhuhlane otholakala maybe abantu nxa edlisiwe kumbeni uloyiwe.
Despite being preventable and treatable, tuberculosis remains a major public health concern in Zimbabwe, with addressing myths and misconceptions being crucial to effectively combating the disease. Lisa Masuku, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
And that's it for myself, Marilyn Gunya, and the Montrose crew for tonight. Vicky is on standby with more news. Vicky, it's back to you.
Many thanks, Marilyn. You have yourself a fantastic weekend. Now, cooperation between SADC armed forces has been identified as key in maintaining regional peace and fighting external threats. The details.
6 students for the 66 non-commissioned management course drawn from the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, Zimbabwe Republic Police, Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Service, and allied forces graduated at Manyame Air Force Base this Friday.
It actually encourages us to work with others, though the characters would be different, but to work together and come up with something as a teamwork. And you also learn managerial skills and how to build self-confidence, and it applies at our workplaces, even in our lives in general.
For this schedule which I given, I will to present in my country and the other people in Tanzania People Defense Force to be known as that management which are given for this school.
The guest of honor and the Air Force of Zimbabwe Chief of Staff Supporting Services, Air Vice Marshal Selevale Masera, emphasized the significance of regional integration.
I would like to extend my heartfelt congratulations to the graduates who have successfully completed this rigorous training program. Your hard work and commitment have paid off, and you should be proud of your achievements. Throughout this training program, you have acquired new skills, knowledge, and experiences that will serve you well in your future endeavors.
Zimbabwe has been actively collaborating with other regional forces on several missions, including in countries such as South Sudan, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Mozambique. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
Well, the Sustainable City Initiative has been launched in Harare with focus on waste recycling and empowering communities.
A waste recycling project is taking shape in Harare's Tafara suburb thanks to a collaboration between government and development partners. The project, which is being implemented under the Sustainable City Initiative, was launched in Harare this Wednesday.
This project not only aligns with our national goals, but also contributes immensely to the zero waste movement launched in 2024 by our environment patron, Her Excellency the First Lady, Dr. A. Mnangagwa. Together, we are paving the way for a sustainable future where waste is seen not as a problem, but as an opportunity for economic growth and transformation.
The project is funded by the Swedish government and is set to benefit the local community through promoting sustainable solid waste management.
Have been instrumental in establishing what we are all very proud of today, the Harare Sustainable Cities Initiative. I would also like to acknowledge the Swedish Embassy for their ongoing support of 3 additional project sites within the city of Harare: Airport, Belvedere, and Highfields, where we have more IRCs, MCECs, and low carbon risk facilities will be developed.
Mushauno wakanaka nechirongwa ichi che Harare Sunshine Sustainable City. Aiwa tinotenda nokuti this thing is going to change. Musha wetafara.
Ma challenges ataikwanisa kuonana nawo pavanhu vairasa marara. Pava neshanduko yatiri kuona kuburikidza ne company yauyawo pano ikuya kuzotibatsira. Taona zvinhu zviri kutochinja.
Harare has over the years faced the solid waste management challenges, and the government has come up with various interventions, including promoting waste recycling and launching the geopulmonal waste to energy project.
A breather. When we return, we give you the latest of what's happening in business. Stay tuned.
In a world where time is currency, every minute counts. Let's be real here. Who has time to waste on grocery shopping? I mean, I'd rather be organizing paperwork all day, or better still, watching paint dry. Anything but grocery shopping. But then I discovered Click and Collect. TM Pick and Pay's online grocery shopping platform. I can order online and collect at my convenience with no parking hassles, no queues. Thank you. And still have plenty of time for the important stuff, like taking a nap. Click and Collect. It's not just an online service, it's real convenience. TM Pick and Pay. Real value, always. Ever heard the phrase, "Apana here one was here," or "Unilink here"? That's right. There's always someone desperately looking for one thing: convenience. Having the right link is the difference between getting things done or being left behind. Bank rangu. Do link round. When I'm on the go, I can make seamless, secure transactions from anywhere, literally anywhere in the world, with the AFC Commercial Bank's Classic and Platinum Visa cards. Or essentials like electricity. I just use my mobile app or dial *276#. That's why AFC Commercial Bank is my go-to. Don't link Raugiroro. They simplify my life with their convenient banking services, whether I'm on the go or simply sitting on my couch. Simply put, my life is a life well lived.
Stuck on you. Ooh, obsessed with you. I'm obsessed.
With Showmax, your favorite characters now follow you anywhere. Download it today and watch the best in local, international, and everything in between.
ZBC Current Affairs, thriving for excellence and perfection in setting the agenda, shaping the Zimbabwean story and sustaining the narrative through detailed analysis and discussions, bringing to you polished live coverage of national events. We are ZBC Current Affairs, delivering to you the national budget, live parliamentary debates, independence, Heroes Day and Defense Forces events. We bring you insightful documentaries, special programs, and thought-provoking debates. ZBC Current Affairs. We are definitely Zimbabwean, telling an accurate, balanced, and unfettered Zimbabwean story.
Our headline story in business: tobacco valued at over 130 million United States dollars has so far been traded on both the auction and contract floors since the beginning of the 2025 tobacco marketing season.
The golden leaf has so far raked in more than US $130 million since the start of the season. Volumes are starting to pick up after a slow start to the season, with one of the auction floors operating in Harare recording its highest volumes this Friday after a slow start to the season.
Recently we've seen the volumes increasing because we've discovered that as they do their reapings, the volume also is increasing. When we checked even on the prices as well, the prices were on the lower side because the reapings that will come into the market are the lower reaps, which usually fetch low prices.
Government has set a target of 280 million kilograms of the golden leaf this 2025 tobacco marketing season. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
And that report there from Owen Mandova, our look at your business news. Let's take a look now at the arts. And a number of events are lined up for the weekend, including the Legends Night Show that will take place at the Harare International Conference Center.
The Legends Night Show, set for this Sunday, is expected to be the major attraction this weekend, where renditions of some of the country's music giants will be performed.
This is the event where we celebrate all our legends. James Chimombe. Vese vangafukira ma-legends akaita kuti music yedu yemuZimbabwe ive nemukurumbira. Saka uyai tinakidzwe i-event yemunhu wese. Bring your family, bring your friends, and we'll see you. It starts at 3 p.m. live at the HICC.
Sungura maestro Alec Pacheso promised his fans an unforgettable Friday night in Chitumbiza before another show in Mutoko this Saturday. Marondera Leisure Gardens is the place to be this Saturday, where Nyasha David, Chew Master, Master H&C Colors will share the stage this Saturday.
Something to look forward to over the weekend there. We're taking a breather. When we return, Lawrence is on standby to give you sport.
That they were fighting for the freedom of the country. Because by those days we wouldn't think of land or what. We wanted to be free from the colonial rule. We wanted to do whatever we wanted to do in our country.
ZBC Current Affairs, thriving for excellence and perfection in setting the agenda, shaping the Zimbabwean story and sustaining the narrative through detailed analysis and discussions, bringing to you polished live coverage of national events. We are ZBC Current Affairs, delivering to you the national budget, live parliamentary debates, independence, Heroes Day and Defense Forces events. We bring you insightful documentaries, special programs, and thought-provoking debates. ZBC Current Affairs. We are definitely Zimbabwean, telling an accurate, balanced, and unfettered Zimbabwean story.
Drug and substance abuse leads to serious health problems, financial troubles, accidents, injuries, relationship issues, and addiction, which can be very difficult to overcome. Above all, drug and substance abuse is a crime. Are you struggling with drug and substance abuse? Do you know someone who is struggling with drug and substance abuse related addiction? Get assistance by simply phoning on the Drug and Substance Abuse toll-free number 0714 647 002. Don't let drugs control your life. Seek help and start your journey to recovery today.
Good evening once again, and thank you so much for joining us on Sports News this evening as we get to give you what has been happening through the day. My name is Lawrence Trusida. We start off with news coming through from the Zimbabwe Football Association, where the newly established ZIFA Global and Diaspora Committee is ready to coach footballers applying their trade outside the country to come back and represent Zimbabwe. Tuberculosis gives us that report.
Elections are done and dusted, and the induction of newly established ZIFA committees has set the tone for execution of a new vision. With hands on the deck, the Global and Diaspora Committee is ready for the challenge to bring the global flair to the national team. Chairperson of the committee, Marshall Gore, believes they are ready to woo players with Zimbabwean birth to don the national team colours.
I'm delighted and excited with the invitation to join the Diaspora Engagement and Global Affairs Committee. And I'm also happy that last week we were able to do our induction, obviously to be equipped with knowledge and information of how to work in the ZIFA setup. So that was also grateful. With regards to our plans, obviously, our plans is to drive engagement of diaspora football stakeholders, including players. So we have a plan to engage more players. But again, on this time, we are also recommending for the coach, and not only the national team coach, but also the coaches for the junior under 17 and under 20, to actually come to the UK and assess some of the players and the stock that we have there. We believe that that's the best thing to do, to also give the responsibility to the coach to come and see the vast amount of talent that we have.
The committee said it is seized with organizing a talent scouting mission for national team coaches in the United Kingdom. Previous such missions managed to convince players like Tawanda Maswanise and Tawanda Chirewa, among other names, to play for the Zimbabwe national team. Mthokozisi Dube, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
For sure, talent is laden everywhere. We move on to struggling Triangle United, banking on home advantage rather, is they seek a change of fortunes when they host Highlanders in a Premier Soccer League encounter set for Gibbo Stadium on Sunday.
The Sugar Boys started the season at a very slow pace after failing to win all their 4 matches so far. Their problems have been compounded by playing away from home as Gibbo Stadium was undergoing renovations. With the team back home, head coach Luke Masomeri is hopeful the Lowveld side will win its first match of the season this Sunday.
We are from 4 defeats, playing away from home. Now we're at home at Gibbo, and I think it's really going to be a morale booster and a confidence booster for my team. In terms of injuries, I think now we are only left with the only 2 guys out, Munashe Bamara and also Stephen Jog, but otherwise the rest of the guys are training.
The Lowveld side have an impressive home form against Highlanders, having only lost once in 5 encounters at Gibbo Stadium. Geima Tambo, ZBC News, Triangle.
Again, the self-proclaimed doctor of Zimbabwean football gets his first win of the season. Let's wait for Sunday. Staying with the Premier Soccer League, Harare Giants, Cape United are hoping to raise the bar when they face former champions and current log leaders Ngezi Platinum Stars at Rufaro Stadium on Sunday.
Once touted as the Cup Kings in the past, Harare Giants Cape United have travelled the success path under different coaches, with their most decorated campaign coming under Charles Mutlauri in 2004 when they won the league with just one loss. Lloyd Chitembo also wrote the success story of the team in 2016, but he has had a fair share of challenging campaigns later on. Machine are 14th on the log with 4 points from 4 matches, with one of the 2 defeats this season being inflicted by Tier 1 at Bata Stadium in Gweru. This week, an exciting encounter is on the horizon when Makepekepe Dead High Riding against the Platinum Stars at the ceremonial home of football Rufaro Stadium on Sunday. Madamburo are oozing with confidence, enjoying a purple patch, which saw them collecting maximum points over Triangle in their last outing to occupy pole position. The two sides are separated by 6 points, and Cape United assistant coach Tonderai Marime says Sunday's blockbuster game is a must-win for the Harare Giants to restore lost pride.
After weekend's game, we made an analysis of how we have played so far from the beginning of the season up to now. What we concluded is we feel we are punching below our weight, and of course we are disappointed after the weekend's result, because the result is not a true reflection of the game. I think we gave it our all. We got into very good positions to score. We managed to keep the ball and everything, but unfortunately the result does not match the performance.
Match day 5 fixtures begin this Saturday with Manica Diamonds hosting Dynamos at Sakuva, while Chicken Inn will be hunting for a first win in a home clash to Rentals. Mbabora face High Riding Tier 1 at Wazanai as Moz welcomes ZPC Kariba at Baobab. A Midlands derby involving New Boys Kwekwe United and former champions FC Platinum erupts at Bata Stadium as Greenfield hosts Yada in Chisumbanje, with Scotland entertaining Bikita Minerals at Rufaro. On Sunday, Bulawayo Giants Highlanders date a wounded Triangle at Gibo. Mtokozi Stube, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Makepekepe, Shai Samfaro, certainly happy days are eluding them. Can Sunday be different? Let's just wait and see. We move on to chess, where defending women's champion Christine Makwena is excited about the return of the CBZ and National Chess Championship after the principal sponsor committed for another year. The CBZ National Chess Championship is set for Harare from the 7th to the 12th of this month. The National Championship is the pinnacle of all tournaments in the country, where all the top players will showcase their craft, and it is also a selection platform for the national team. Defending women's champion Christine Makwena is excited at the prospect of defending her title after principal sponsor CBZ confirmed its support for another year.
The competition is tough, but then I think with the preparation that I've been doing, I think I'm ready to take on the challenge. As players, we are very, very much appreciative towards the sponsor CBZ for continuing to support the nationals all these years.
Makwena had a stellar 2024 season, winning both the national and the Easter Open titles. The sponsors are delighted at helping athletes achieve their dreams.
At some point, we actually had a world champion, and that attracted us to this particular discipline. And in some ways, a discipline that actually doesn't have the vastness in terms of publicity that it deserves. So us partnering is to support it and to ensure that, a young Zimbabwean child, a young girl, a young boy can actually have the same dream that these grandmasters have, to say that they can actually conquer the world stage.
The Zimbabwe Chess Federation says all is in order for the nationals.
And we look forward to working together to promote the development of chess in our country. Their support to enable us to provide a world-class experience for our players, coaches and officials. We're excited to see the impact it will have on our sport.
This is the third consecutive year CBZ has sponsored the National Chess Championship. Lawrence Tuseda, ZBC News, Harare. So yeah, that's what we managed to have for you in sports news this evening. It's now time for the weather update.
Hello, welcome. It's time for your weather news. Slight to moderate rain occurred last night into this morning over the southern region of the country, with shipping Sengo Chisumbaji recording 39.20 and 9 millimeters respectively as of today in the morning, and we had mostly cloudy, mild and windy conditions over Matabele and southern parts of the Midlands, Masvingo as well as Manicalands. This was caused by the sustained inflow of cool moist air from the south, while the rest of the country had partly cloudy and warm conditions for the greater part of the day. Tomorrow, briefly cloudy conditions expected over the southern half of the country, and of note is the cloud band slowly approaching the country from the west, and we are likely to feel its effect as we get into next week. Partly cloudy and conditions and warm conditions should prevail over the weekend. And now as we move on, tonight we're expecting partly cloudy conditions across much parts of the country, with cooler conditions over the southern region and milder conditions along the Zambezi Valley, the highest being 20 over Kariba. Tomorrow generally warm across the country, with temperatures slightly increasing as we're expecting more sunshine tomorrow over the southern parts of the country, while the rest should be partly cloudy with chances of isolated showers in places. Bulawayo partly cloudy, warm during the afternoon with cool conditions in the morning. Matopos briefly cloudy with warm afternoons, cool in the morning, and Rwanda as well briefly cloudy with chances of light rain in places. Masvingo is expected to be briefly cloudy. Chances of light rain are expected in places. Gweru partly cloudy with cool morning conditions and warm afternoons for the rest of the focus period. Same applies for Kwekwe, partly cloudy conditions with cool morning conditions. Kadoma partly cloudy in the afternoons with cool conditions in the morning. Harare partly cloudy for the greater part of the day, though cool in the morning and at night. Chinoi partly cloudy over the weekend, becoming warm by the afternoons, though mild in the morning. Lupani partly cloudy with chances of isolated showers in places. Same for Victoria Falls, isolated showers expected in places with warm afternoons. Kariba partly cloudy with isolated showers in the afternoons. Bindura partly cloudy, cool in the morning, becoming warm by the afternoon. Marondera partly cloudy for the greater part of the day, cool in the morning and warm afternoons expected. Nyanga partly cloudy with chances of light rain in places. Thank you for tuning in. Stay safe and please plan with the weather in mind. Good evening, Zimbabwe.
The weather report and forecast wrap off the main news tonight. Have a wonderful weekend.
Good night.